I went from being petrified, sweating, rash, like trembling fear to like actually being up there and being like, this kind of rocks. This is actually kind of thrilling. This is actually kind of fun. Um, that is possible. It's not just like we're all afraid of public speaking and that's how it is. Like it's something you can work through and maybe even enjoy.
Yeah, when you were saying like, oh man, I was feeling this, like the rash was the first thing we talked about, feeling a rash, feeling scared. And then to now 2, 3 months later, you're like, oh my gosh, I had so much adrenaline. That was so much fun. Like I couldn't even go, like that was so exciting. Like those are pretty big drastic differences, huh? When you're sharing it, I was like, wow.
After that first class, flying, just like it just felt so good. It felt so empowering to stand up there and kind of demand attention and like and hold people's attention. Command, I think is the word I'm looking for. Command attention and just like it felt really empowering and it was a rush. Yeah, I came home just like so excited. I think I called my sister, I called my parents. I was I was like late at night, but I was like, I have to call everyone and tell them how like amazing that went. I realized I like teaching. I feel more confident just I think speaking up for myself and being myself and um yeah, just the confidence I feel like I could bring anywhere to like any kind of position. That's helpful for all kinds of things. But it's really sparked like, oh, I actually like being in front of people. I've always thought that I hated this, that I didn't like it. It was terrifying. And then to actually be like, oh no, I actually really like this. Like, it's opened up a whole new thought process of like, wow, what could I do with this? Like, could I continue to teach? Could I be a I don't, it's just, yeah, all kinds of little like neuron pathways or like sparking like what else could you do with this or just being more confident like I said in general like that serves you no matter what you do.
And what about like you were telling me, kind of like being more of your goofy self and owning that more, like you feel like you've been able to kind of use that as your superpower, like something that you were feeling more ashamed of, you feel more like that's something that differentiates you or that you get excited about or that feels like more connected to who you are. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like I realized that being kind of quirky and kind of odd is something I used to like in a traditional work sense is always kind of like felt kind of ashamed of or I felt different or I needed to kind of like put a lid on that in order to be taken seriously and talking in front of a class and teaching is like it's almost a superpower now. I feel like being kind of quirky and doing weird things and making little jokes about stuff or having like funny gifts in my presentation, like people are actually paying attention and it's making more of an impact on them. Just it feels like a positive versus where I was thinking of it as such a negative, like, oh, I'm weird. Now I'm like, I'm weird. I'm paying attention. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm weird. Like, yeah, it just feels, and it's nice to feel like aligned with me because that's who I am. I don't want to ever feel like I have to like box myself in or bottle myself up in order to fit some other mold. It just doesn't feel real or aligned. So it feels nice to be able to be me and have it feel like it's a strength versus a
Yeah.
weakness.